Let's go back to the beginning. How did Formation start? Where did it all start?
Formation, it was a concept of DJs way back in the early 80s. We were so into the music, and Eddie was like a collector. I remember meeting Eidris and going to him, and he was getting all these vinyls, and I was intrigued. I'm thinking, yeah, because I was more of a dancer. You know what I mean? I was more the breaker kind of type. So it was just weird because there was no plan or anything. It was just music, and we used to ram out on the Sundays, and it was surreal. I'm talking about big people was in this place on a Sunday night, rammed out.
So let's go back to the breaking days. What other crews was around at the time?
Breakdancing, way back in the breakdancing days, there was Electronauts, Skywalkers, ourselves, Style 2 crew. This is when we were young, really young. This was
Those are the 3 breakdancing crews, really, what people used to say about.
And where was the platform? What platform was created for them to showcase their dancing?
We used to get together at Wesley Hall, was probably the main spot.
Right, yeah.
Link it up at Wesley Hall.
Who was involved at Wesley Hall?
We weren't too sure because we were kids. We used to just turn up and go there and break dance and practice. It was a bit weird because Electronauts were a strange bunch, weren't they? They were an older group from all different parts of Leicester. Do you know what I mean? It was a quite weird link, weren't it? You remember? But Skywalkers were tight. It was from Fields. There was all brothers and sisters, and the more of a ghetto thing. The Electronauts were from that area, an Asian man from there, and it was weird. It was kind of weird because there weren't kind of like a unity thing there. We got hyped on the music, and we didn't know how to DJ or anything. It was just that kind of dance thing. Do you know what I mean? We just got captivated by the music back then.
Yeah. How did you get into that? Was it people that you chilled with?
It was just like me as a youngster. You had that gang culture, all this silly gang football things, and you had people joining these kind of little gangs to be part of something.
Yeah.
I became part of a dance crew. Do you know what I'm saying? It was that unity, being together. Because I knew from an early age I didn't want to go down that route.
What were you doing during that time?
Myself, I was working as well, and buying records, vinyl, all sorts, travelling everywhere basically to get the right music.
What music were you into?
Oh, it's all hip hop.
Strictly hip hop.
Yeah, strictly hip hop.
It was so unique how we connected because we weren't friends. We from different hoods. Yeah. We got connected through music. That's how our friendship built. It was weird because Eidris was just he was a loner.
That's right.
Do you know what I'm saying? He was a loner. He was doing his own thing, and he just thought, yeah. And I was like, I just connected through him.
So what was a partnership? What was a partnership?
When Eidris, it was to me, Eidris was a very integral part because when I started working, Eidris was working, but Eddie was buying records and he funded my career musically. Like, when I was a little kid, he used to say, yeah, I've got this tune, told that I had to pay him off slowly. Do you know what I mean? It was like half a daily of music, do you know what I'm saying? And it was like, yeah, but he supported me. Do you know what I'm saying? He supported me. And you don't see it at the time. You understand what I'm saying? You don't appreciate it at the time, but for a long period, he was like, yeah. And I used to pay him off bit by bit. And then, because I think he's seen that I was so into it, and I was doing my thing, we said, yeah, let's link and do something. Eddie opened the shop at the time. I was a DJ. Do you know what I'm saying? He opened up Sneakers Record and changed the game. Then we set up the radio station, brought everybody together. Do you know what I mean? Tried to do something. Because we was just like, to us, there weren't a plan. It weren't like we're trying to make money. I try and do this, I try and do that. It was just, we were so into it. Do you know what I mean? I remember as kids, before that era, as kids, and the crew, when we used to be in Highfields, we was into the music with KMS, before that, it was just like, it was a weird, unique experience.
So you mentioned the shop. How did the shop come about? What made you think it was important to open up a record shop in Leicester at that time?
That shop came about really because people used to travel all over from Leicester to find music, and there used to be a shop called Revolver, and they were good, but they weren't really entertaining us quite well. You know, when you go there, they really didn't know the music. They're just selling like an HMV. They didn't really know the music. So that made me think, you know what, I should open something. As a record shop, you start doing all sorts. Then people asking you for soul, funk, all type of music, in R&B. So you have to cater for everybody. So it basically started from selling a bit of a hip hop vinyl, and from there you created to a record shop.
What year did that open?
I think it's in 1993.
Okay.
No, don't think Sneakers is
Before
way
that.
before. No, man.
Before
Sneakers
that.
were before that, way before
About
that.
1991,
91,
89
we opened
maybe.
5HQ in 91.
89, mine.
Yeah, Sneakers was
89.
right there. But we missing the apartment era. We're
Yeah.
missing that part where we became DJs. Then we used to travel. Do you remember Northampton?
Yeah,
Road, man.
Yeah, of course.
Nottingham.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we was there. Brixton. We used to travel London to the breakdance competitions. Remember Birmingham, seeing all the concerts.
I used to go Moat, and he went to the same school.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it sort of happened, in more how we met in a way.
Yeah, kind of.
And then-
It used to be like kind of background in the
Yeah.
music thing,
Yeah.
and then it was only we really connected when he started buying the imports. He will buy the imports, you know, go and buy 2 copies of this tune, and I used to say, yeah, I want the copy of that, and go and buy some music off him. Do you know what I'm saying? And that was the link, our connection. And as I started to get more music off him,
We got to know each other.
we got to know each other on a one-to-one, more intimate basis.
So
And then we started playing. He was DJing, I was DJing. Then we started playing and practicing and linking.
Because you got a massive record collection,
Yeah.
you can just play.
Yeah.
And was that the same thing for you guys?
Yeah, it was. I think.
And it was hip hop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was definitely hip hop. We used to go to second-hand stores looking for the breaks. You remember
Yeah,
all
that's
that?
right, yeah.
Going
We
little
used to travel
inches.
everywhere to
You
try
can
to be a
travel
bit
everything
different
to
from
be
the rest.
different. And it was just, there was never a plan. That's something we didn't plan. We didn't think about it's a money thing. Nothing like that. We're just collecting music, being kids, doing something, keeping us off the streets, and creating a vibe. And we created this vibe by mistake, really. You know what I mean? It was no plan. It was just like music. We're in Leicester. We're into the same kind of thing. So we created a vibe.
So what else was happening? If Formation, if you guys wasn't doing it, what else was happening at the time on the scene?
I think we was back in those days. We used to look up to Classic Groove, didn't we?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Classic
Classic
Groove,
Groove, and them kind of like Kim De Silva, because they was playing all the oldies. They were probably playing from 70s, 80s eras. Do you know what I mean? Because we came in early 80s. Do you know what I mean? So from they was doing the circuit, it was the soul thing. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was like it was a connection, a black thing.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because from there, before that, I was into the sound. You know what I mean? I was into the sound thing. We used to come here to this building. I was probably 8, 9 years old. Here, Tubbies. And I'm like, yo, what's going on here? Bass line, and you know what I mean? It was just a connection because it was that unity. Going into places where you could unify with people together. It was all boils down to the music. So through the time scale, you know, original hip hop was my first where I really thought, yeah, this is what I'm living for. I used to love the reggae thing, but I always liked the unity, and the reggae thing was like it was a black thing, and I wanted to be more universal. Like that's why I liked the hip hop. It appealed to different audiences at the time.
Everybody breakdancing.
Yeah, everybody breakdancing. We could go to every area, and you know, before you come, if you'd walk there as a black man, there was like some racist thing. But when you walk there with your breakdance crew and you start dancing, they were, you know what I'm saying? But if I just walked in there with a couple of my mans, they'd be looking at me, screwing. But because we went in there with a breakdance thing, that broke the ice. Do you understand what I'm saying? We used to go West End, the racist places there, and we used to link because it broke. That's a good thing about that era though. It broke, you know, the segregation. Do you know what I mean? Going into different areas. I remember going to the area where I live now, Els Monsell. We rented out, I'm sure you were there, we didn't rent out, someone said, dog, because we used to, the problem back then when we was breakdancers, places to find to break, you know,
That's right,
halls.
yeah.
So we had to go clear up Earl's Monsell. I remember going into Earl's Monsell church up there. Someone said, yeah, you can come up here. We went up there, we break dancing, wicked. We think, yeah. We came out, load of white guys. We thought it was funny at the time because all we wanted to do was go there and dance and, you know.
Tell us about...
Wesley Hall came in then.
Yeah.
We used to go to Wesley Hall, and that's when we started booking the venue and start doing gigs there, you know. So we started doing our own thing and creating that, and then we used to get other people coming in.
And that's where Ravy came in, and the link, and it's just all through cycle, going through it, the link. And if you paint that picture now and you see, it was like a perfect picture how people were connected through this music thing. Friends, lifelong friends. I look back at it now and think, wow. But then you're just a kid and you just think, oh yeah, this is what we're doing and blah, blah, blah. But
it was the early 80s.
Pardon?
Early 80s.
Yeah, that was early 80s.
Mid to early?
That's mid to early 80s. And then we went for all the eras, because we were DJs. We love hip hop was our first love, but we played house as formation,
We tried to bring different type of music.
We tried to put all different kind of music.
Do you remember your first gig?
Our first gig.
Was it together? Were your first gig together, or did you start DJing first?
I think it was a Spectrum.
It might have. Remember we done Moat School Party as well, you remember?
Yeah, we should do
when we were
more,
kids.
Yeah. The main gig was, I think, was Spectrum.
The main probably
Spectrum,
the first big where it was in front of people and it was like that have to perform was probably a Spectrum.
What year?
Ooh, that was early 80s, and we done our things at Wesley Hall, but that was kind of our own thing. So we kind of controlled the pace, but going into Spectrum, because that was the main spot. You know what I mean? That was a big people spot, Spectrum and Luca and them places there. That was probably, and it was town. So going into that element, from going into fields where you're in around your people, to going into the town centre where it people from people from everywhere else, it kind of changed.
We were drawing different people because we used to bring DJs as well from around the Midlands as well. So they used to bring their followers as well. And we had our followers, so it started building up. So, and then they used to invite us to their city. So it used to work like you work along each other and try and build your name.
This was the era when Classic Groove were doing their thing as
That's
well.
right,
Yeah, they were doing
so you were
but
probably...
there was very problem with Classic Groove at the time. They was very one-dimensional. They were sticking to that style, like they are now.
Didn't move with the times.
Didn't move with the time. We was like trying to bring all kind of things in. We was like, yeah, we're going forward. We like this.
You're saying they did hip hop, but it wasn't. We did house.
Yeah,
we did hip hop. We did everything, jacking, everything.
Yeah. Well, that was a new thing coming out from States, really.
Yes.
I think we were following America more than anything. What the music industry, they control, really. You know, what's new out there, and we played, and people like it.
Yeah, that's right. We played all kind of styles.
Introduced a lot of different styles of music to the public.
And it's the hip hop thing. It's always been my first love. I started falling out of hip hop when it started getting political. After we used to go to all the concerts, Public Enemy were wicked, but then they started going too political. Then they started just chatting like it was, and to me it was all about music. You know what I'm saying? It was all about the music. When it started getting that political talk about this and that, I just thought it's not kind of really for me. That's when I kind of lost it, and it started going really commercial. Do you know what I mean? It kind of lost its way, and it was just, and the gang talk, you know, from NWOA started coming, and it was, to me, it was portraying the wrong message. And to me, it didn't sit right for me. That was me personally. Even though I loved the music, I didn't feel the message, and I didn't connect the guns and the bitch hoes and all that. I was just like, no. And then this was like the late 80s. And then Eidris said, oh, this is when Eidris just opened the shop. And he went, and where we opened the shop, Sneakers, it was an area where there was a load of ravers. You know, you had you had all these trendy clothes shops, and these kids from different areas, country areas, and they used to go to raves. And then they said, oh, you got to come to Amnesia House in Coventry. I was like, what's that? Yeah, what? Amnesia House? I thought, well,
illegal raves in a big warehouse.
Me and him walked in there, and we seen hooligans hugging. You know, people probably killing each other in the day, football, but in the night they were hugging each other, and that changed it for us. It was like, whoa. That's what, it's the amount of people there, and we seen the unity. I thought, that's it. that's something I was kind of looking for. The music had that little bass element to it, so we could appreciate to it, and it just opened up a different door, because to us it's about music.
So you know that when you had your first few gigs in Leicester, you know, you saying in Wesley Hall you're doing your thing, and that was your own thing, and then your first gig in Spectrum, and that went well. So did that just then sprout other things? People saying, yeah, come DJ here, or come back to Spectrum and do some, or did you have to work really hard to get more gigs? Or?
No, what we used to do our own parties. That's how we think it. We set up
venue, we hired out everything, we promoted it.
That's how we got where we was, because we was prepared to work.
And that's where your promotion strategy, your business, your entrepreneurial.
That's right.
Because otherwise, you're just DJs. You're just going from venue to venue, just DJing.
Right,
But this is where okay.
Because hip hop back then and getting the right venues was hard work. You only had probably 3 or 4 venues to pick up that you could get. Or the rest of them weren't interested. So
the town, no way.
Explain when you used to do hip hop and man used to be moaned to pay £1 or £2.
Yeah.
Then you did a dance and a trance and.
Never done trance. Yeah, when we used to do hip hop, the Panic rage. Remember Panic at Spectrum?
Yeah.
And we used to get these artists from all over the place, and we worked so hard to get these things. And I think it was £3, £3 or £5 to get in. And people used to moan at that.
Right.
And we was like, if they realised how much it cost to put these things on, because we very rarely made money or broke even.
Right.
It was just we were just happy that the place was busy and we didn't lose money. Do you know what I mean? It weren't like we walked out and we said, here's £100, here's £100. It was like, look, if you get £30. But because we was trying to promote ourselves as DJs, and we were kids. We didn't know what we were doing.
We saw DJs from London coming here, you know, to make sure they get paid. And, you know.
So you'd be bringing them over?
Oh yeah, we used to travel to London, bring in like what was talented London, bring the DJs here. You know.
We done it all, and I think
Ultramax.
Yeah, and that was probably our first big thing. An international gig was doing Ultra Magnet MCs at Starlight. We thought, well, we're going for Ultra Magnet MCs, booked out Starlight.
That's right.
Phew, that was a nightmare gig. It was good to say that we was with these mans, and you know what I mean. It was an experience, but it was too big. The whole venue, the whole concept, because we didn't know what we was doing. We just thought, we're going to try a thing.
So you would have to go to the venue, and the venue will say, it's going to cost you this amount, £100 or whatever, and you would say, okay, here up front. And so you
work with the venue. It's a higher fee.
Okay.
Higher fee, normal thing. You're hiring a venue. Then it's up to you how you get the people in. If you know, but they want their fees end of the day, and we have to make sure that.
Yeah, and that's
hard.
on your head, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, normal.
Were you guys also DJing at these gigs that you're setting up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the whole point, reason we put it to promote ourselves.
Yeah.
As DJs, you know what I mean? And when we've done the hip hop thing for years, and it was a lot of work, but very little reward for it, wasn't it? It was only till when we changed to the raves, that's when we noticed the difference financially, because it was just a big arena, and we was both, like Eddie said at the shop, I was still working, and I got made redundant. So I think I need to take this more seriously. So I started DJing more on that scale where it was and the rave thing opened the door. Realistically, you started producing. Yeah, started producing. We started putting on our own events. You know, we done Jokers on Tuesdays, Starlight every Saturday. We done the probably first big rave at the Montfort Hall.
That's right. And
then it was just, I think it was right time for that music, the rave music. It was the right time. But we was always, in our hearts, hip hop was always in our love. But when the drum and bass came, it changed, because it's something we created. It wasn't from America, it wasn't from there, it was created right here. We was part of the creation. So that's when things changed.
When you started producing initially, what music were you producing?
Hip hop.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
And that evolved over time, drum and bass.
Yeah, but as I evolved as a DJ, the music changed. But it was hip hop. It was the hip hop vibe until the late '90s, and then I did my first rave.
Hip hop, drum and bass went along a bit as well. So that's
same pace.
Yeah, same pace. So you had a lot of hip hop beats in the drum and
Yeah.
bass as
Was
well.
jungle before that?
It crossed.
Yeah,
you know.
jungle was before the jungle came after the ravey thing.
Okay.
It was that breakbeat kind of
Yeah.
thing, you know what I mean? The breaks. That's why I like the rave thing because it had the breaks. It weren't just house where it just dum dum. You could put the breaks in it, and I can relate to that, chopping up the breaks and stuff. But the first we started doing events, and we just took gambles. We put on events, but we had no rights to put on. I'm telling you, innit? We think about it, and then we had a chance to do Donington Park. Didn't know what we was doing. We had a business partner at the time, and we pulled off a massive rave, 3,500 people in the space of a month. You remember that? We was out every night, all over the country, in fields up north and right down to south, because we were so in it, and we pulled it off, 3,500 people, and that's what set the shop up. We made enough money from that shop, we thought, from that event, so we thought, we need to do something with this.
So was it a natural progression, or was it
Yeah.
like, what the hell do we do? We got this money.
Natural progression, it's just everything fell into place, because it was all linked.
Well, you had
to
no
the music.
mentor. You had nobody tell you to do this.
No,
you just did it.
No, we just did it. No, man, nobody told us anything. We just done it. I think.
We just talk to each other and do this and that. He'll tell me, why don't we do this and
Yeah.
this, and we just talk, and plus me having a record shop, I'm getting to know a lot of people,
People,
the
yeah.
contacts, how they're doing things, so you're like picking their brain, and then it's, you know, things progress from there on on the business side, I would say.
What year was this?
Say 93?
Yeah.
So 93
and
record-
91 we
record,
opened the
yeah.
shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
91 we opened up 5 HQ, and I think it was nothing like that was in Leicester.
That's right. Yeah.
So I think we were unique to like people. It was like an information centre.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? People could come and see, hear music, have a mix, look what's going on, pick up flyers. It was pretty unique what we did. We had the studio there, and it was great.
What year was the first release on the label?
91. 1991 was the first official formation release.
So about the same time as the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know what we were doing. We went to London, said pressing plants down there in Halsden. We went there, walked in, do you press records? Yeah. Met a guy called Ahmed. Yeah, cool. And he linked with him, and they talked some Asian talk, and he's like, yeah. Nice, he was in.
That's it.
And he seen us that we was trying to think. We were foreigners, basically, to them. Pressed the record up, we went to all the shops, just dropped them off individually.
That's right.
And it worked.
Yeah.
And it was successful.
Yeah, SOR.
People liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't know what we were
From the
doing.
sales of records, that
Yeah.
sales, and we got distribution
Deal,
to distribute the label. So that's made more label, more,
Who's
more
that with?
vinyl.
Who's-
A distribution company called SS.
We know. before
Most
I said
Music.
Remember Most Music? What's that other one in Grays? You remember?
Great Asset.
Great Asset. That was it.
Great Asset Records.
Do you never deal with Palmer? Jetstar?
Yeah, we done Jetstar for a
pieces,
bit.
Yeah, but they weren't really selling more of that field. So we went to special distribution. Yeah.
And it was hip hop at the time, right?
No, that's
What
drum
you
and
said,
bass.
That was drum and bass.
Yeah,
What,
that's the
nine-
label.
Label with
Ni-
drum and bass.
91.
Yeah.
Drum and bass.
Yeah.
And so you,
Rave, drum and bass, yeah.
and so it was yourself making the music,
Yeah.
and that's where I guess this is where your business hat came on more
That's
so.
right.
That's
yeah.
right.
And then you started doing producing, DJ,
Yeah.
business, promoting.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's how the whole concept.
Good
How
combination.
the whole
Yeah.
concept worked.
And then the label evolved into R&B and
Yeah.
Also, so
Once we could see, the
started-
whole thing was the plan. So once we got a platform, then we could do what we wanted. Yeah, it's once we know the formula, how to put out music, then we wanted to do hip hop, we wanted to do this, we wanted to do house, we wanted to do that, but we had to get the backing first. So we put out the rave thing, we got to formation 10, 11, and thought, yeah, let's do this, let's do that, and let's do that. And we tried every kind of style when it came to bass music, really, see what one would work.
Try to give local talent a break.
Break,
as well.
yeah, try to do the whole local thing.
talent.
We had the studios, and we could have utilised that more, but the problem I had with the studios is we wanted to keep it secure, because as soon as you make it public in something like that, you open your door to all kind of stupidness. So we
In
kept
5H?
Yeah, 5HQ, yeah.
The
right,
studios.
above the
Because
shop.
we could have hired it out and made money from it, but it was all, we knew if we would have done that, we would have been coming into problems. Because we opened a shop, we had a shop for like 6 months and it got burgled. They came in through the roof, It was like, whoa.
What?
Do you know what I mean? So we're thinking, no way, studio. They're coming to band to rock, and all they took was some hip hop CDs.
Yeah.
They left all the rave. They came and took all the hip hop
trainers
CDs
as well.
and the trainers. You know what I'm saying? They left everything else, hip hop CDs and trainers. So and we know their mentality. So we thought, if we open a studio to public, let people know, because people just see us go upstairs. They really know what was going on upstairs. We kept it.
Office.
Yeah.
What about the merchandise? Because that was quite big as well.
Yeah, we've done the whole merchandise because it all works hand in hand with the label. And we was fortunate because we had one guy that used to manufacture for loads of people. Went, yeah, give me a logo. Yeah, he used to come with samples. What do you think of this? Yeah. And he used to go and press it. Yeah, how many you want? Come back, and he used to give us all different things. And we used to have jeans, wallets,
everything. We could put our logo right on there. What people will wear. So
it was crazy.
Some concept worked, some didn't. You know, the jacket thing really worked. You know.
So what didn't work? When you were doing all these things, there must have been things where you're like, let's not do that again.
We got away, to be honest. We were very fortunate because everything we kind of touched the hand to kind of worked.
You did, in a way,
In
that
it,
time.
yeah.
Because no one was really
Doing
that stuff in Leicester.
We got away. We got away, man. Tell you, it's like God was watching us or something. He was like, yeah, you do that. And we done it. Do that. We done it. We done everything we kind of touched the hand to worked.